All right, so this one we have minimize and maximize, and they give us just the function z, and that's equal to 10x plus 30y, and we're subject to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 constraints. The last two are their typical, x and y greater than 0, and then the others are just the other constraints there. So what we need to do is we need to solve all of them for y. So y is going to be greater than equal to minus 2x plus 16. Not a problem. And then we have the next one. Y is going to be greater than equal to minus x plus 12. And then the next one we're going to have y is greater than equal to, now we're going to have a minus 1 half x plus 7. Okay. All right. So let's draw the whole thing because sometimes it's going to be easier to see some of these. So at the 16, that's going to be, I don't know, let's call that 16. So that's going to be 8, and that's 16. All right, so at 16, we're going to have what? It's going to go down to right 1, and so it's going to be kind of steep, something like that. Then at 12, well, that's going to be kind of in between here. So at 12, we're going to have just down 1, right 1. So it's going to be more like that. And then the last one at 7, it's going to be here, and it's going to be even smaller. It's going to be down 1, right 2. So it's going to do something like that. And now we kind of draw our nice crooked lines that way. And all of them say they're going to be greater than. So that means, we're going to be up in this quadrant over here and everything. So if it's greater than this one, it's going to be up. Greater than this one will be up. Greater than this one will be up. And then it has to be here. So basically, we're in this region. So that means what do we have to do? We have to find that point. Well, we already know that one. That's 0, 16. We have to find that point. We have to find that point. And we have to find that point. Well, that point is if we plug in 0 into this equation. So that's going to be what? 14 comma 0. All right, so we just have 2 points to find. Now, this again is going to be a place where using a calculator sometimes is really a lot more useful than just trying to do it all yourself. So what we're going to do is we're just going to plug in all of our equations. So we had what? A minus 2x and then plus 16. And we had a minus x plus 12. And we had a minus 0.5x. And then it was plus 7. And I don't remember what my window is here. It'll work. All right, so we need those 2 points there. So the red and blue. So we're going to shift trace and we're going to do an intersection and the blue and the red. And so we have a 4, 8. So that's going to be one of them. And then we're going to have to shift, intersect. And now we want red and black. And so it's going to be 10, 2. All right, so 4, 8 and 10, 2. All right, so that'll work. So we have 4, 8 and 10, 2. Okay, so we've got 1, and then we have this will be 2, this is 3, and we'll call that one 4. All right, now what do we know about this? Well, this is unbounded. And because it's unbounded, that means there's going to be no max. So guess what? We don't have to do anything with maximizing. So the next thing we have to do is we have to minimize. And so the minimize is going to be, we're going to plug in the z's. And so if we're going to have 10 times 0, and then plus, and then we'll have 30 times 16. And so that's going to give us what? 480. And that's going to be with the point 1 there. So then we have point 2, z equals, and we have 10 times, now we have a 4, and then plus a 30 times an 8, and that's going to give us, 240 and 280. Okay. And 3, z equals 10 times, now we have 10, and then we have plus 30 times 2, so that's going to be what, 160. And finally, we have z equals 10 times what, 14 plus 30 times 0, so that's just going to be 140. So it looks like the min is that. So the min is going to be equal to 140 at, and then it's going to be 14 comma 0. So that's going to be our solution to this one. And again, we could come up with a solution to these by, setting the equation or the inequalities equal, solving for x and y and doing all that. Or we can use our calculator, which is the best use of our time for this class. All right, so let's stop there and we'll come back for another one.